This is the easiest way to get started with MedusaJS. If you don't know Medusa, it's the fastest growing commerce project, and for very good reasons. Simply put, it's Shopify, but fully open source and fully customizable. So let's get started. Medusa needs Postgres, and you have a few different options. The first and the easiest and the fastest for local development is Docker, but you can also use a cloud Postgres such as Supabase, Neon, or Railway. I have a tutorial on how to connect Supabase Postgres with Medusa. I'll leave a link for that down below. But for this tutorial, we'll go ahead with Docker. So we're going to go ahead and run our Postgres instance using Docker, and this is assuming that you have Docker installed already locally. And we're going to use the following Docker run command to get our Postgres instance up and running. Once that is successful, we'll be able to access this instance on the following database URL. So simply your password, your local IP address, the port that it's running on, and the name. At this point, we're ready to create our Medusa application. And to create our application, we're going to use the npx create Medusa app command, followed by the name of our application, and we're also going to send in a flag called db_url. This is the URL of the Postgres that we just created. So this flag skips the new database creation process since we've already provided a link. We're also going to install a Next.js storefront. This will install the default storefront. Once the installation is complete, you'll be directed to this create account screen, and this is where you can create your first application user. This is what was created by that installation command. We have our Medusa backend, and then we have our Next.js storefront. Personal preference, I like having the Medusa backend and the Next.js storefront in the same folder. That way I can easily switch back and forth. Zooming in to the Medusa application, you'll find all of the source files under the src folder. So this is where you'll customize things like routes, widgets, add custom workflows and modules. We'll cover this in future videos. And under the scripts folder, you'll find a c.ts file. This file was already executed once we created our new project. And within the Medusa admin, under the products tab, you'll find a bunch of products that were created by that seed script. A quick walkthrough of the admin dashboard. On the main screen, you'll find things like orders, products, inventory, customers, things that you'll be working with on a day-to-day basis. And under the settings tab, you can adjust your store settings. So things like regions, currencies, locations, and shipping can all be adjusted through this screen. And as I said previously, we've also installed the default Medusa Next.js starter. So we'll run that on our local machine. So the Next.js starter is now running on localhost 8000. The starters allow you to get your storefront up and running quickly and easily so you can start experimenting. And if you go on the Medusa website /starters, you'll find all of the different starters that are available to you. So for example, the B2C starter is what we're using currently, but there's also a B2B starter and a bunch of other contributions from agency partners such as a marketplace starter, a POS starter, and you can have multiple of these starters running at the same time with a single backend instance. And that's the great thing about headless. So let's actually try placing an order. And the great thing about Medusa is that it's customizable end-to-end, meaning the backend and the storefront is customizable. So for example, in platforms like Shopify, customizing something like a checkout can be really tedious and you don't really have a whole lot of flexibility. But in this case, we have full control over the code, so we can create that experience however we'd wish to. For example, this is the B2B starter that Medusa offers, and the entire experience looks a lot different than the B2C starter. For example, I can place bulk orders, and even in the checkout, the entire experience is a little bit different to accommodate a B2B client. For example, you can do request code functionalities, export card to a CSV, all sorts of different options that are not offered in the B2C. But again, we're using that same exact singular Medusa backend. Back in our starter, we're going to check out and place an order for the Medusa sweatshirts. We've successfully placed an order, and I'll show you what this looks like in the admin dashboard. In the orders table, you'll find the order that we've just placed. And on the orders page, this is the page where you'll be able to create fulfillments, returns, exchanges, Anything associated with your order can be done through this page. A quick tip, Medusa has a really good chatbot on their docs website. You can simply type in your question and it will search the documentation for an answer. It's really useful. Even with my development agency, we probably use this on a daily basis, and it just makes finding information a lot easier. If you enjoyed that video, we'll be covering a lot more Medusa-based topics like plugins, admin customizations, workflows. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and also leave a comment down below. What type of videos do you want to see in the future? See you in the next one.